so let's do this. This is going to be every single self-improvement principle, law, rule, yada, yada, yada that I know of. Starting off with the Pareto principle, otherwise known as the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule basically describes that 80% of the effect comes from only 20% of the cause. So 80% of your success comes from 20% of your work. 80% of your stress and your anger throughout your day comes from 20% of the problems you have. And this goes hand in hand with the law of diminishing returns, so I kind of bundle them into one, because the law of diminishing returns is basically the more you work on something, the less return on your investment you will get. Same thing with the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle. After you try and work past that initial 20%, each additional percent that you work gives you less and less return on your investment. The way you abuse this rule in a self-improvement context is you simply do the work that is the highest ROI. That means that you won't do any work after you've done like a good quality or like a good amount of work. Okay, so you do that 20% that gets you 80% of the results, and then you stop there. You don't waste your time on things that are low ROI, unless of course maybe you want something to be perfect, you want something to be really, really good, you want to hit that 90%. But it's all about like not being like a perfectionist and just doing things that are high ROI. So for example, if I tried to make every single YouTube video perfect, I would end up spending like 10 times more like time, like editing, researching, doing all of these for every single video, and I'd make way less videos. And you would think that this would like better my channel, right? Like I'd get more views, but it probably wouldn't, because I'm making less videos. I'm already like a beginner in editing and everything else, right? And also, it's just gonna not be fun for me. So I'm not gonna enjoy like doing so much editing, putting all of this in one video. Instead, I just record these takes, right? I record these like not very highly edited videos. This is not only fun for me, but also it's like 10% of the work of making like a highly edited video. Probably less. It's like 1% of the work of making a highly edited video. And the growth is obviously gonna come like more steadily. The second law is called Parkinson's law, which basically says that work expands so as to fill up the time needed to complete it. Not needed, sorry, given to complete it. So basically this means that if I have a work task, okay, let's say I have to build a presentation. Building this presentation takes me 20 minutes. But if I assign an hour to it, then this 20 minutes is going to balloon into an hour. And the way it's going to do this is because I have so much extra time, that makes me think I should be spending this time. And so I fill up this, like, that extra 40 minutes with like Diddy tasks, like, fucking checking my emails, conferring with like maybe other presentation members, doing all the other shit. Kind of goes hand in hand with the 80-20 rule, a law of diminishing returns. So the way you abuse this is that you set your time to do work at a very like precise and accurate amount. You don't want it to be too little that you're like stressed out, right? But if it's too much, you're going to end up doing all these like Diddy, like weird tasks. You're going to like be distracted and everything, because you can afford to be distracted, right? You want it to be just the right length, so that you are like a little bit challenged or a little bit pushed, and you can't afford any distractions, because if you're distracted or you do some dumb shit, you're not going to get the task done. But you don't want it to be too long, because if it's too long, you're going to fill it up with Diddy time. The third concept is flow state and deep work. So basically, the best way to do work is to be in a flow state and to do deep work. Deep work is putting 100% of your focus on a cognitively demanding task. So you've probably heard of like Pomodoro technique or any of these other things. Those things are nice, but I think the best way to do work is to focus for a long, extended period of time on a singular task that is difficult for you to do. So if it's easy, you know what I'm saying? If it's like an easy, like menial, like fucking slave labor task that like you doesn't require any training or something or expertise, then it's not deep work. If it's very short, you only do it for 20 minutes, you're not even gonna have time to get into that flow state. The way you use this, you just schedule in 90-minute deep work blocks in your calendar and you do them. And you try and focus on the first 10 minutes of every deep work block, because the first 10 minutes is the most crucial. It's the time that you're gonna like get into the flow state, if that makes sense. 2-minute rule. The 2-minute rule basically says that if you can do something in 2 minutes, you might as well just do it right upon recognizing that you can do it in 2 minutes. And The effects of this is basically it eliminates procrastination. Okay, let's say I have to like do a little bit of cleaning up in my room. Normally, this is something I procrastinate all the time. But if I'm like a follower of the 2 minute rule, I would say like, oh, it's yeah, that takes me like what, like 5 minutes, 2 minutes, like a short amount of time. I might as well just go knock it out right now. If I have to send an email to a teacher or something, instead of like procrastinating that for super long, I'll just be like, oh, it'd take me like 2 minutes, bro. Just like quickly hammer it out, send it. It's basically just an anti-procrastination measure. 3 minute rule. The 3 minute rule, not to be confused with the 2 minute rule, it's fucking weird. They have basically the same names. But the 3 minute rule is basically when you focus on a task, all you have to do is like the first 3 minutes of that task, and then you will enter a flow state and you will gain momentum that will carry you through the rest of that task. So basically, instead of thinking about running for like 2 whole hours, right, running 20 kilometers or some shit, I would just think about grabbing my running shoes, getting my water bottle, getting in my car, like driving to the spot I'm gonna run or something. And you know, obviously that takes like what, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. And if you just get started on these things, you already have your running shoes prepared, your water bottle prepared, you're like in your car or some shit, you're a lot more likely to run. You're not gonna just be like, oh shit, bro, but I don't want to do this. Take off your running shoes. Okay, you wouldn't unfill your water bottle. You know, get out of your car, walk back in your house, open your phone, scroll. It's like a lot harder to do that and waste time from a position when you're already like a little invested into that activity. So 3 minute rule is just do 3 minutes, the first 3 minutes of whatever task you need to do. Next one is Occam's razor, mixed in with like a bit of essentialism. So Occam's razor is basically like a philosophy. It's more like science, but it's like whenever you have like a solution to something, it's often the simplest solution that is the most effective. Now, the way this works with essentialism, and actually like the way I connect it with self-improvement, is basically just shave off like all these like overcomplicated things and don't be like an autistic overthinker, like perfectionist or hyper optimize. Okay, so again, I'll give the example of my YouTube channel, right? There's people out there who just there's people out there who will go on YouTube, they'll like make a YouTube channel, right? But then like 90% of their time goes to like, you know, checking YouTube analytics, checking their views, looking at their impressions, and looking which videos popped off and shit, right? And they spend so much time worrying about the analytics that they don't think to like actually improve your like video quality or anything else. They've hyper optimized this system that wasn't actually effective for them. And it's not just for YouTube, it's for like life as well, right? Having too many commitments is another way of applying Occam's razor. So if I have like 10 different commitments, I have a job, I have a business, I have school, I have another business, I have like a passion project, I have like a hobby, I have like a fucking martial arts class or some shit. If I have all of these things, I'm gonna excel in like none of them because my attention and my focus is diverted across this like wide array of shit to do. But if I only have like 1 or 2 or 3, I have like a business I work on, I have school, and I have a YouTube channel, I'm way more likely to succeed in at least one of these than if it was like all spread out, because you have all these things. There's like a fracturing of your attention, and which is not going to be good for you, which is going to like reduce your productivity in all of these like by a lot. So Occam's razor essentialism, just do like the things that are most essential, just cut out like a bunch of the like unnecessary shit that you do, and don't be like a hyper overthinker fixator on like dumb metrics that don't actually matter. Okay, that's basically everything, bro. Like I have 2 more here. I have sunk cost fallacy, but I don't really think that's that good. I mean, sunk cost fallacy, you stick to things if you invest in them. So I guess for self-improvement, like if you're in a long-term relationship or something, right, but it's not working out, sunk cost fallacy says like you might still stay in this situation because you've invested in it so much, even though it's like clearly not good for you. Yeah, that's a quick rundown. Anti-fragility. I don't want to more explain those 2. I'm kind of lazy, bro. Also, my voice is like, I've been recording mad videos, bro. My voice is like cooked. I have fucking school today, bro. I have to like go to school after this. Anyways, yeah. So that's basically everything. Thank you so much for watching. I know. If you saw the title of this or you saw everything else, you thought it would be like one of those animated ones, and I was gonna do it animated like originally, like how like, you know, all the trending ones do it. But then I thought like, wait a minute, I don't want to do that. I'm pretty sure like most of those are made by AI. Because every single time I've seen one of those like type videos, like every type of this explained, it's always like an AI voice. And the script sounds very robotic. And I don't like it. So I'm just like, I was like, I'm not going to do that, bro. I'm just going to like record a video like how I'm normally going to record a video. Sorry, guys. Anyways, that's about it. See you.